So, good morning to everyone. So, after last class, what we done? Electrical drives. What is the definition of electrical drives? Then, what are the components in electrical drive? Applications, advantages, and speed torque equations of DC motors, and speed torque characteristics of DC motors. Then, what are the types of load torques? All these things will learn. So, before going to the chapters, in this chapter, one more topic is left as an introduction. Suppose we will consider the chapter as introduction. When motor is starting, what else when it is motoring? Another one is braking. So how it is braking? What are the braking methods? How many types of braking is there? What is the meaning of braking? These are the things we will learn today's class. So types of braking. Types of braking. So when motor is running, it is necessary to stop the motor also. So that's why we have to provide some braking torque also. So either suppose it is rotating in one direction, another direction you have to rotate, that one also will call as a braking. Either reversal or stop of the motor is called as the braking. So generally it is necessary. What is necessary when motor is running to brake, to apply the braking torque is necessary. So for braking, we have to apply the braking torque. That is the simple concept. So what we can say, according to according to speed calculation. According to speed calculation, like how much speed it has to go, how much speed it has to move, or otherwise speed schedule. Suppose we done some schedule. So according to the speed schedule, to break to break a motor, break a motor smoothly, smoothly or rapidly, or rapidly, we use braking torque. We use braking torque. So we have to apply some braking torque to stop or to break the motor. So this braking torque, whatever we are talking, this braking torque, we can apply in two ways. One is mechanical methods. One is mechanical methods. Another one is electrical methods. Another one is electrical methods. Now we are studying the electrical drives, so we will go with the electrical methods. Not only that one, these electrical methods are precise, precise when compared with mechanical. When compared with mechanical. So we have to apply some braking torque to stop or to break the motor. In this braking torque, we can apply in two ways. One is in mechanical methods and electrical methods. But electrical methods are more precise when compared with the mechanical method. And also, wherever you want the accurate stopping, suppose accurately from stopping position, you have to stop. Like we will take our metro trains. So metro trains, when you will see, there will be some directions. Door will come exactly that position. Wherever. So the accurate position it has to stop. So that will happen only with the electrical methods. So in this class, we will see the how many types of electrical braking is available and how it will work and the explanation of that braking methods. Okay. So generally, three types of electrical braking is available. So electrical braking, three types. Okay. First one, dynamic braking. Dynamic braking. Or rheostatic braking. Or rheostatic braking. Second one. Second one is called as a counter current braking. Counter current braking. And also this one is called as plugging. This one is called as plugging. And third one is regenerative braking. Regenerative braking. So these are the three braking methods available in the electrical braking. What are those things? One is the dynamic braking or rheostatic braking. Our second one is counter current braking or plugging. And third one is regenerative braking. Guys, please remember these things. If you understand these things, then only if you go for the DC motor, what are the braking we are using? If you go for the induction motor, if you go for the DC series motor, like different motors, these are the general braking methods. So one by one, each braking method, what will happen, how they are applying the braking, how we are going to see. Okay. So first we'll go with rheostatic braking or dynamic braking. So before going with braking, first we'll understand that one. In this chapter, what starting we done, we taken the definition. After that, we went with the speed torque equation. So even though motor or load, whatever it is there, the main important thing in each and every chapter is the speed torque equation. So before going to the braking, to understand drawn the speed torque characteristics, right? We drawn the speed torque characteristics. Suppose consider this one, y-axis is speed and x-axis is torque. And this one, what will happen? This one will happen negative, and this one will be negative torque. So like this one is the RSL. So what is the meaning of motoring? When we are applying some torque and it is rotating some direction. Suppose some direction, you just consider this is any one direction. Like suppose it is rotationally clockwise, is you consider as a forward direction, then anti-clockwise will become the reverse direction. In one direction, we have to consider. Suppose here I am considering clockwise as a forward direction. Okay. So here also this is the speed. Okay. Here also this will be forward direction. Why means this x-axis is positive. So here also it is positive. But here it is negative. So here also it is negative. When your speed, that means speed is in forward direction and the torque also in the same direction, it is supporting the speed. That means this is speed. So we know that. One more thing here again, I am previous. What is the power? Power speed is equal to, we taken the formula 2 pi n by 60. 2 pi n by 60 to t. This one is omega t, also we can write it 2 pi n by 60. So here n and this one is the constant. This one is the constant. When n is positive, t is positive, power will become positive. That means we are giving the motor. When power is negative, suppose speed or torque is negative, then power will become negative. That times we are stopping the motor, we are braking the motor. So very easy to remember this part. But wherever power is positive, that means what is this one? Speed. Speed is positive, torque is positive, that means power is positive, then it is a motoring mode. It is operating in motoring mode. If anything is negative, it is operating in braking mode. Here you will see Here torque is negative. Here torque is negative. That means torque into speed, power is become negative. So that means this is braking mode. This is braking mode. And here it will come, power speed is already negative and torque also negative. Negative into negative, positive. That means this third quadrant is motoring. Third quadrant is motoring. Here speed is negative but torque is positive. Speed is negative but torque is positive. That means power is negative. So we will call this quadrant as braking. Guys, remember, generally people will confuse here. We no need to confuse. Wherever power is going to be positive, those things are motoring, because here both are positive. So multiplication is positive. Here both are negative. Multiplication is positive. That's why this is motoring mode. This is motoring mode. So this one is the first quadrant. This one is the second quadrant. This is the third. As we already know these quadrants in a pyramid also. So in first quadrant it is motoring. Third quadrant it is motoring, and second and fourth quadrant it is a braking. Here. Then what is the difference between this braking and this braking? Now we are already told that speed is positive, that means it is forward direction. So we will call this one as a forward motoring. We call this one as a forward motoring. And here reverse. So we will call this one as a reverse motoring. Same thing, if speed is positive, it is a forward braking. It is a forward braking. And this one is reverse braking. This one is reverse braking. Clear? Anybody have doubts on this graph? Guys, please respond. Anybody have doubts on this graph? Nobody is responding. This graph is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have to remember this graph. So later, anytime you will come, you can remember. So this graph, you have to remember that this first quadrant is the forward motoring, second quadrant is the forward braking, third one is the reverse braking, fourth one is the third one is the reverse motoring, and fourth one is the reverse braking. Okay. So here we are talking about the dynamic or rheostatic braking. So rheostatic means there will be some resistance that we can remember. So you don't need to confuse which braking is which one. Name itself there will be available. There is a dynamic braking and there is a rheostatic braking. To understand this one, I will take our DC. Why means DC speed torque characteristics already we went through. So I will take that one as example and I will explain the dynamic braking. Suppose consider this one is our DC motor. So this one is armature resistance RA and EB is the back EMF. How it will work? We have to give some supply. UA I am considering as a supply. So armature is connecting this current coming in this direction. So this one is positive, this one is negative. This connection is coming in this way. So this is motor is running. Now motor is running. What we will do? We will cut input voltage. Dynamic means we will change the sudden change. We will remove this input supply. When you suddenly you remove the input supply, already that motor is running. Some energy is stored in that moving part. That energy has to go somewhere. So we will attach one rheostat. We will attach one rheostat. So what will happen when this plugging? Here what we will do? You people know DPST switch? Machine slab will happen, right? What is the DPST switch?
Double pole single throw.
What does that mean? DPST. Double pole single through. So what is that mean? So you will see generally first double I am saying about the DPSC. So in your diagrams, what you will do, you will keep like this. Here one, and you will draw like this, right? But actually, if you see in the lab, here one full will be there. So what is that mean? Here one pole is there, here one pole is there. With one throw, with a single throw, you are closing it. That's why we'll call this one as a double pole, single throw. If suppose you have three poles and single throw, what we'll call that one? Triple pole, single throw. Clear? So if you have two poles, with one throw you are closing. That's why it is a double pole, single throw. If you have double pole and double throw, here also one throw, here also one throw, then that is double pole, double throw. Okay. Even name itself will explain the operation. So here what we will use one throw switch. What that throw switch, how we will design means. This is our supply. This is our supply. So we will keep one switch here. So when starting, these 2 points will connect. That means it will supply to the input voltage. When we are doing the break, here we will use one double pole single throw, whatever available with that one. So one time we'll throw that side, and another one time we'll throw like this, gas attached with this rheostat. That indirect meaning is, so when it is connected to the input voltage and it is running as a motor, for applying the braking, what we will do, we will remove the input voltage and we will connect the armature terminals to the rheostat. So what will happen, whatever the energy stored in these moving parts of the motor, that will shift to the rheostat and motor will stop. So this type of braking we are using. Clear? So what we are doing here in dynamic braking. So dynamic means sudden change we are doing. Rheostat means we are using the rheostat. So the operation itself you can remember the name. Dynamic braking, rheostatic braking. Dynamic braking means sudden change. What sudden change we are doing? We are removing the input supply. Rheostatic braking means we are applying some resistance. When you will apply some resistance, whatever the energy, what energy will store here? Kinetic energy. Why means water is rotating. So that kinetic energy will shift into the electrical energy towards the rheostat. Okay, this is the basic concept of dynamic braking and rheostatic braking. So you have to go in depth how this dynamic braking and rheostatic braking. We can go with the equation. Equations will speak everywhere. If you know through the equations, then that will be very easy. Why I am saying this one means, in our chapter they are saying numerical problems also. Maybe there is a possibility they can give on braking also. So we have to learn through the equations also. That's why I am explaining. So normally when it is connected to the UA, this is like our motor equations. What are our motor equations? What is the speed equation for us? What is the speed equation? Speed equations every time I am saying. You have to remember last classes. I am saying same thing. Every time it will repeat. And what is the torque equation? From last 3 classes, I am giving the explanation how this is coming. So again, if you want right now, I will tell. If anybody will ask, that is okay. I am considering that you people know how this came. This is the 4th class again. I am using these things. So here also, if you apply the KVL, when it is operating as a motor, if you apply the KVL, what is the equation? UA minus IARA minus EB is equal to 0. So if you take EB that side, UA minus IARA is equal to EB. This is the equation, right? Now you see. So this is the direction of the current, IA current. Now, when it is removed UA, that means UA became 0. UA became 0. And EB is supplying in reverse direction. That means IA direction is reversed. Suppose consider whatever the reverse current, that current we are considering as a IB. That current I am considering as a IB. That is braking current. So what will happen in the equation? From here to here, EB minus IB RA. Suppose this resistance I am considering as external resistance RE. So this one also IB minus IB RE is equal to 0. So I can write this one as a EB is equal to IB into RA plus RE. So IB braking current is equal to EB by RA plus RE. So this is the braking current. If you see this one, braking current is reverse direction of IA. So this is also armature only. IB current also armature current only, but so what will happen? IB is equal to here you have to remember IB is equal to minus IA. Current is reversing. So IB is equal to minus IA. So IA is equal to minus if you keep like that also. So what will get? These are the normal equations. Normal DC motor equations. From that one, in braking method, we are getting that. In braking method, what is the braking current? Braking IA is equal to minus EB by RA plus R. Okay, this is the braking current. And what will happen? Our equation Y means our UA became 0. UA became 0. And our torque is what? Torque is equal to CT into phi into IA actually. So IA is what? IA, if you substitute IA, CT into phi into EB by RA plus RE minus. IA value, I just substituted IA value here. So what happened? The braking torque is reverse. This only we are saying. So whatever the motor torque is there, now we are applying the negative torque. So because of applying that negative torque, the motor will stop. Okay. So here we understand. So this one, again, what we can do? This is PB is equal to minus CT into phi into EB by RA. Or we want what? Speed. Speed, what is the formula for speed? N is equal to 1 by CE into EB by phi. N is equal to 1 by CE into EB by phi. Same thing we done. Starting what we done? First we will write the speed equation. Then we will write the torque equation. And we will substitute torque equation into speed equation. Then we got one formula. What is that formula? If people are not following the previous classes, this class not at all will understand. So if really people are getting doubt anywhere, please stop there itself and ask me, sir, how this one came. Okay. So what is the speed torque equation we got? This is the speed torque equation of the motor. In first chapter we derived. First we derived N is equal to 1 by CE to EB by phi. Then we derived torque is equal to phi in CT into phi into IA. Then we substituted 1 by CE equal to EB ante UA minus IA RA by phi. So in this IA is equal to E by CT into phi, we substituted here, then this equation will come. So now in this equation, what happened in this braking method? What happened in this braking method? In this braking method, this one became 0. Why means we are removing the QA. So this all term will become 0. and RA is constant. But here RA means what? RA plus RE. RA means RA plus RE in braking method. And flux is constant. Suppose you are not changing flux. This everything is constant, right? So if I consider all that constant as a K, in this braking, in dynamic braking or rheostatic braking, speed is equal to minus constant. This everything I am taking as constant into EB. This is the speed torque equation in dynamic braking. This is the speed torque equation in dynamic braking. So for this dynamic braking, now we can draw the graph. Now we can draw the graph. So what is the graph? Already I shown. We will consider this one as a torque, this one as a speed, this one as a speed, minus, so this one as a minus torque. Now you see, speed is positive and torque is negative. So and what is the slope? Negative slope. That means negative gradient and negative gradient. And when t is equal to 0, n is equal to 0. So these are the speed torque characteristics in rheostatic braking or dynamic braking. Clear? So what is this one? The slope is K. K means RA. So it will depend upon, this one is constant. If suppose flux is constant, CT and C is constant, RA is also constant, but RE we can change. So if RE you are changing, so if you are increasing the RE, negative slope will increase. Slope is increasing means the smoothness and hardness of the braking will increase. Suppose this is R1, R2 and R3. If you are increasing, slope will increase and the braking will become fast. So how we will calculate this braking? By seeing this one, how much fast we want it. Suppose at high speed. At a high speed with low torque, you have to stop. By giving the less torque, you have to stop the motor. You will use this much of resistance. At the same torque, if you apply at this, by using this much of external resistance, it required this much of torque. But same speed, if the high resistance is there, less torque is required. So how much torque you are applying, that will depend upon how much external resistance you are using. Okay, this is the first method, dynamic braking. So what is the meaning of dynamic braking? Critically, dynamic braking, across the armature, whatever voltage we are supplying, that voltage we will remove and we will add that terminals to the some external resistance. So whatever the energy is stored in this motor, that one will shift to the resistance. So what is the energy stored? That is the kinetic energy. Not kinetic energy will shift into the rheostat as a electrical energy. It will dissipate, it will heat the, as a heat energy, it will dissipate. So this is the braking. For this braking, so we consider the equations and these are the speed torque characteristics. What are the speed torque characteristics? Speed and torque equation required. So first what we went through, same process. First we went through what is the speed equation. Speed equation, we got it. The torque equation, we got it. Here we understand that in speed equation, IA became the negative and UA became the 0. Here also you can speed equation, UB you can substitute UA minus IA into RA. EB is equal to UA minus IA into RA by 5. But UA became 0 and IA became negative. That means negative, negative, positive. So speed is in positive. Here also you see speed is in positive, but torque is in negative. So speed is in positive, torque is in negative, and torque slope is this one. So like this, whatever you will do, why we are going with these speed torque equations, now you people maybe understand. So you have to get it. While braking, how much resistance understand, you have to know the speed torque equations of particular motor. So this one is the dynamic braking and rheostatic braking. Any doubts on this one?